So what's going on, guys? I wanted to come today with a little bit of a story about my life. I'm trying to draw a particular point, and I think the best way I can do that is by providing you guys with a little story. So, yeah. And the point I'm trying to make, I'm going to let you know at the end of the video, so you got to stick around. So around 2016, I was super into entrepreneurship. I still am today. And I was different then. Like, I was super deep, like into the community. I was reading a ton of books on startups, on the business model canvas, just trying to figure out how I could possibly build a business. Because at that point, I felt I only had school and free time, and that free time I could use, trying to build a business. It wasn't like I was working full time. I was working part time, making a little money, and then I was getting money from financial aid. So, college proposes the opportunity for somebody to build a business if they want to. So I was trying to figure out, like, man, I got these great ideas, but I can never execute them myself. I need somebody that's technical, that I know how to build out a platform, know how to build out an app. See, I had tried it on my own. I had bought this little coding book. Well, not little, it's actually kind of thick. And it makes sense. It's like a language though. And I didn't want to spend the time to have to learn that. So I needed to find somebody technical. I needed a partner. So I wanted to get involved in the entrepreneurship community. So I had to figure out where they met up and who were the people that were a part of this community, and where could I meet them? Where could I get in touch? So I went to Meetup. It's a cool little website where you can meet up with people that share similar interests. If you love reading, they have meetups on there where you can go join a ton of other people that love reading, and you guys can maybe have coffee and talk about the books that you guys have been reading. So they had that same thing for entrepreneurs, to where people that maybe had business ideas, maybe people that were a lot more technical with their engineering, or it was just people that were interested in maybe one day starting a business. They had meetups for that. So I started joining those. And I was there every week. Every time they had something, I was there. So I was meeting a ton of different people that were, substantial within the community. I became cool with the mayor, because the mayor was going to those type of events. Small business development type people were going to those type of events. People that were trying to help in the community were going to those type of meetups. So connecting sometimes is who you know. And I was coming across a lot of people that potentially, could do good for me down the road once you build that relationship with them. So me just connecting and socializing and networking with people that shared that same similar interests as I did. I came across a couple of people that were very deep in funding and, supplying people with money if they felt like their business, they had a good idea. So they had told me about some type of startup events that were, happening down the road, and that, maybe I should go to them. And so I did. And when I went to these events, the first event, I came across a person who was super technical. I came across a person who was good in business, marketing. And I came across another person who was also a lot more technical. So we all got together and, talked about the idea, and figured, we could do something with this idea. So it was called Giver. And the idea of the app was to put faith back into the hands of the giver. So when you come across a person that's in need, typically you're hesitant to give them money because you feel like they're going to use the money for the wrong reasons. They're going to use the money to continue their bad habits of maybe drinking or doing drugs or something like that. So what the idea was that you could give them money towards a particular store that was within the area. So if you came across a person that was in need, you would say, okay, I'm giving them $5 towards Walmart. So the app would generate a code. They could take the code to Walmart and actually use it like money, except they couldn't spend it on alcohol. They couldn't spend it on cigarettes. They couldn't spend it on those type of things. So that's what the name of the app was. It was called Giver. So we started working on this, started building it out, and taking this idea to different pitch competitions. And the idea actually had won awards. Like our major award was the best startup idea in the city of Grand Rapids, Michigan, because I went to college in Western Michigan, which is about, 35 minutes south of Grand Rapids. And so that was like really my first like real taste of like creating a business. Like we had to go out and get market data. We had to, figure out if this was something that people were going to use. And then also we had to think of like the stores. Stores like Target, stores like Walmart, they may not want homeless people coming in. It may have a bad look on their company. So how could we make this work? So it was a lot of problem solving that was going on. So over time, we ended up, going our separate ways, doing our separate things. I was graduating. A couple of people were graduating. Some people moved because we had built out the team a little bigger. So we started off with, I believe, like four of us, 2 technical people, me and a person who was like good with marketing. And then we had brung like 2 more people on that weren't from the area. They were from like cities across the state. So like meeting up and stuff was a challenge at times in that communication. So we all kind of went our separate ways. Nothing bad happened or anything like that. But they gave me the thirst like for entrepreneurship. Like I wanted it even more than ever now. So I continue to, come up with ideas, continue to jot down ideas. Whenever something comes to my brain, I'm writing it down. I'm poking holes in it, seeing if it's a pliable idea, if I could really do something with this idea. But currently what I do is I am just in a process of saving money, living as frugal as I can until it's the time where I want to go and do my own thing. They call it FU money, to where like you can quit and be fine and not be worrying about how you're going to pay rent the next day. It's FU money. I don't need this job. I have enough money. So I'm trying to get to that point to where I can just go and do my own thing. But the point of this story is that I want to talk about opportunity. And how I have always been a person to want to seize and try to seize opportunities. So all this time I was going to these startup events, going to these meetup events. I was, seizing opportunities, and I was alone and all that. I didn't have nobody going with me. I didn't know none of these people that I started, building relationships with. I just wanted to be an entrepreneur that bad that I was willing to put myself in uncomfortable positions in order to see that through. And that's what it's all about. If you're passionate about something, stop being afraid. Just go do it. Like, go try, get involved somehow. If you don't have the money to start a business, at least get into the community of other entrepreneurs. Just building relationships, building some type of form of line of communication with these individuals, just in case sometime you are ready and you need people or you need help with funding. You just want to put yourself in a position to where you can get help if you need it at any point. So I was putting myself out there, and I typically don't do that. I'm very social, antisocial. I'm good around people. I'm funny. Like, I love being around people, but I go through a lot of periods where I don't want to talk to anybody, especially if I don't know you. I don't want to be around a ton of people I don't know, which is like why I don't like going to weddings, because I don't know half of the people there, and I don't feel like having to introduce myself to everybody, 100 different times. So I was willing to put myself out there and be uncomfortable because it's something that I wanted and it's something that I wanted to pursue. And I am just trying to pass that mindset off to other individuals in the sense of not being afraid and not waiting until you're ready, because you'll never be ready. Like, you'll never be ready. And then once you are ready, psychologically, you're probably not going to even want it anymore, or it's going to be too late. And the thing about building or starting a business is that, especially if it's an app or something that's new, that it's a race against time. You're not the only person that's out there thinking about that specific idea. There's going to be somebody else that comes up with that same kind of idea. So, or there already is somebody out there with that same kind of idea, but they don't really have control of the market. They may be just a startup company as well. They're trying to make it so you have a chance still. But if you allow people to, continue and push while you're holding back because you're afraid to get started, they're going to control the entire market, and they're going to do the things that you felt that you could have done. I don't know how many times I've watched Shark Tank and like, man, I thought of that idea like 4 years ago, but you didn't seize that opportunity. You didn't really go out there and try to do it. So I want us to seize opportunities. I want us to get off the diving board and actually, get in the pool. It reminds me a lot of when I was younger, because I was a pretty good basketball player. And my dad, of course, wanted me to be better. And what he would do is he would, wake me up early in the morning. Like, I'm like, man, I don't want to be up this early. Who's up at 5 a.m. out playing basketball? Nobody. But that's the point. It's you're doing the things that others won't do, because they're afraid, and you have to be able to, muster it up, put yourself in a situation where you're not in your comfort zone and, try to accomplish your goals. And at the same time, though, like, when you're not doing it, somebody else is. If you're not out there at 5 a.m., LeBron is, Kevin Durant is. They're the best basketball players in the world. If they can get up at 5 a.m. to go practice, I think it's something that I can do. So, you just have to put yourself in positions to win. And if you never seize opportunities or you never take the risk, you'll never be a person that wins. You'll never win at anything. People that win are people that are constantly challenging themselves and constantly putting themselves in position to win. You know what I mean? So don't call it luck when somebody has a successful life or starts a successful business or becomes a great piano player. You know what I mean? Don't call it luck, because luck is like strategic planning meeting opportunity. It's like when you put yourself in a position to win, typically you get wins. You know what I mean? It's not luck at that point. When you're actually trying to put yourself in that position to win, that's not luck. That's just you seizing opportunities. So I want us to have that mind frame and that mental attitude when it comes to things that we want to do. We need to get off the diving board and get in the pool. We need to seize those opportunities, because there's somebody else out there that's going to seize that opportunity, and you don't want to be that person that's living with regret and wishing that you were that person. But I thank you guys for checking out this video. I like doing a little story time, so I may bring it every now and then, give a little bit of my life. But I thank you guys for checking out this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. I'm out.